before I actually show you around this lovely beach, anyone who has an issue with bikinis or beach attire, especially in Europe, because, you know, the Europeans even have nude beaches. I'm sure there's also in the US nude beaches, but FYI, there's going to be a little panoramic view, so if anybody is squeamish for some reason, fast forward or just skip the video entirely. This is one of the public beaches in Ischia. It's Cava Grado, if I remember correctly, and we are near Sant'Angelo, which is a very beautiful, beautiful place to go. It's down there, you can't see it, all the umbrellas, the sun, it's really nice and warm. So, anybody who wants to visit Naples, Italy yet, please remember Ischia, summertime, if you like the warmth on the beaches. I am also wearing a bikini because, you know, suntan and all. So I think it's okay though. I've seen plenty of different types of attire. And for our topic, I thought of sharing some more food for thought on the topic of how Enlightenment soul age group, people who are in their spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, ascension, there's a lot of different ways that my 5D community will know of these terms. We're a community that integrates the ascension, spiritual metaphysics as a terrorism conversation. And communities, and usually it's the ones who are not enamored with their own light, which, you know, what's funny is that yoga instructors and spirituality gurus will have mentioned the different mindsets, and the one that they're enamored with their own light, I think they must have skipped that one, or their yoga practitioner or someone must have not informed the individuals of it. Now it's different when they're individuals who are licensed in the field of mental health and they have not yet moved into their restored and embodied self, so they actually are still leading with their adaptive child emotional charge, which is also something very obvious to a person who's a functional adult. So integration of the mind means you navigate your left and right, and that's where my lovely functional adults, the love language group, and anyone who moves into oneness consciousness, which is 5D, means unconditional loving you, others, flaws, and imperfections. So people who are grown-ups and common sense grown-ups, because that's where, just because we know about intuitiveness doesn't mean we don't actually understand how to stay grounded. Which is why, you know, we love that there's all these specialized groups like the flat earthers and whatnot, but we also kind of understand that, no, the earth, we're pretty sure it's round, you know, and really why are we contemplating and creating groups about round or flat earth? Shouldn't we be contemplating or creating groups that save our lovely planet? Anybody? And so this enamored with your own light, I want to focus on that one because I got to learn it from a great lady who's a practitioner and a yoga instructor, and she's an entrepreneur, and I forget her full name, apologies, but she has a beautiful, beautiful 12-step program that I believe therapists also get licensed in, and holistic practitioners such as myself, counselors, consultants, educators, people who care. So again, the functional adults, we add to our list of oversoul. We don't take away, we don't remove our twin flames or say they're chasing or running each other around. We don't have soulmates we chase or run around. We don't have soul contracts that need to end. All of this verbiage, actually, to 5D, anyone who's intuitive will know, wait a minute, kind of sounds like my teenage version where I was like, oh shit, the world, how awful. Why is everything so unfair? Some of us didn't really do that too much because we were like, wait a minute, but I have food, I got water, got my family, got stuff going on. So some of us, we actually recognized what it meant to grow up emotionally. Other people, they didn't. And right now, it seems like we have a lot of individuals who are this enamorment with their own light because of also, if you look into, I believe it's Jungian, that group, they talk about shadow and light, and then they talk about aspects of, what was it? Shoot. I'm forgetting. See, I have a horrible memory for data points in any linear manner, but I can create basically what I'm like, I think they're all in Maya land and they don't even realize it, and they're telling all these other people how they're in Maya land because they're apparently darkness or demons and they're attracted to the light of their lighthouse that they are. This thing about being saviors, something about that. In fact, one of the good psychotherapists actually highlights how not to be the adaptive child therapist, how not to do spiritual bypassing, and this is an official therapist, I subscribe to his email list, And I was like, yay, somebody that's, again, on the 5D side, because 5D, again, humans, we evolve, we expand. It's called infinite higher human consciousness potential experience. So we don't cancel our loved ones because they get annoying, if you will, or they do a number of things such as gaslighting, ghosting, manipulation. The actual functional adults, I was a teenager when I was telling my friends, you know, if you know that they're doing it, then that means they're not really doing it. Why are you saying they're mean? Why don't you talk to them about it? And what you understand when it comes to actual individuals who have a level of situation from their household is that they will be very skeptical about any type of compassion beyond a reason. And that's fair, because they will not have been surrounded by people who actually want their safe haven, that they are unconditionally loved with flaws and imperfections, or their secure base, that they follow their desires. They will have equally traumatized individuals. So this is a bunch of different data points. You all know this, food for thought, random. But again, the yoga or holistic, the middle ground, and anyone who wants to talk about spirituality process or spirituality awakening, because I keep seeing spirituality awakening symptoms 101. Now, the Kundalini thing, we talk about that tomorrow or yesterday or maybe today. But this is where look into somatic experiencing with Peter Levine. He's awesome, and his trademarked approach helps people to go on a journey, which he shares why it's important once you start unraveling your charged states, these trauma memories, to have somebody to support you. Because the addictive behaviors are not only substances and use of substances or your relationship to the substance, it's the part of how they're self-soothing in the process. From a nervous system, it's not a conscious. People think they're consciously making choices. They don't understand the right brain stuff, the nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze, attach, cry, collapse, submit, please, appease, or the attachment wounds. So insecure attachment individuals don't know that they are not inclined to yet nurture their inner world, because the attachment style, the attachment, their attachment system did not get the consistent contingent communication that would help their infant childhood body. From the 0 to 7 month old is when your attachment begins and establishes, whether it's secure or it's avoidant, ambivalent, or disorganized. Disorganized has then a subcategory of secure or avoidant or ambivalent, while for the styles we have disconnected, preoccupied, and then there's fearful avoidant, and they're two separate attachment study groups. These are researchers. I do the best I can to share information. So when people care about anything mental health related, anything human related, anything spiritual related, and they don't actually promote Purusha Prakriti, pure unconditional love, pure consciousness, they learn words. Apparently they don't hear the word of unconditional love. Somehow, again, they miss out that they're falling in love with them being a light or a savior or something like that. And that's not what we are. We're people who are growing up. So the Kundalini awakening, when I look at it with the knowledge from somatic experiencing, Peter Levine, and when I took this course with him and Diane, like, okay, this is making a lot of sense. And when I see all these people saying, oh, when you go into your spiritual awakening, you're going to lose people, you're going to delete people, you're going to cancel people. Okay, you're obviously not learning how to grow up in your own playground. And you're choosing to do the cancel culture bit and to fall in love with your group and your light, and that's, choice. There's other soul age groups, there's 4D, 3D. These are bandwidths of people who actually choose to disregard the fact that we're social animals, mammals. The attachment system of every person longs to attach. This is why the inner maladaptive responses, they're not maladaptive. They're safety responses to an infant body that made the best it could with its own nervous system, and that's where the charged states are at, and that's where equanimity can be achieved, but it's only if the brain that's using the body gets into the spiritual awakening or enlightenment. AKA equal functional adult. It means you understand that addictive behaviors are maladaptive / safety responses to unresolved trauma, attachment wounds. So you don't cancel your loved ones. You support them to grow up with you, and you support them to accept eventually compassion, dissolve the shame, heartbreak. If they want to, of course. If they don't, they won't accept. They'll move away. But we don't cancel people as we awaken and enlighten. We actually add to our boat as Zen masters. That is that IHP community. and the unconditional love and energy. So tune on in. Have a great day.